Hey, it's 27 January, Monday morning, and I turned down a $500 job today. My wife doesn't know that, but when she finds out in a little while when she watches the video, I may be in trouble. It's money that we definitely could use, but at the same time, when I weighed my options of what I was hoping to do today versus that $500 paycheck, thinking long term, thinking how am I going to get this project accomplished, I erred on the side of not going and shooting the corporate video, getting some interviews, but instead of focusing into what I'm doing. And so today I didn't take any breaks other than bathroom breaks, and my wife brought in some little bowl of food to keep me going, and I just focused and kept plugging away, kept making phone call after phone call, trying to raise the funds, get the sponsorships to make this film happen. And so yes, I sacrificed $500. So in other words, I not only invested my time into this project, but I also invested the $500 that I lost on that shooting gig. And you think I'm crazy? Maybe I am, but if what I'm doing is believing in the thing that I'm trying to accomplish to make this film, then why should I doubt? Why should I turn and change my direction a little bit to go and chase after this money, to sell out after that, or go back over here and switch over this instead of like going straight after my dream? And so that may catch up with me in a month or two when we're out of funds, and if that gets to that point and we haven't made anything happen. But my opinion and my trust that this is what I need to be doing has overcome that physical, that carnal need of just providing for a family. Even today, walking, seeing my little 9-year-old month crawling on the ground, I thought of man, I just gave up a $500 paycheck, in a way putting my family at risk somewhat, even though we're okay right now, but focusing on that bigger, that long term. If I could track the work that I did today and what the outcomes, the fruits of this labor that I did today, what it would actually do in long term, if that would be more than the $500 that I would have made going and shooting this corporate video, or helping this film be one day closer to getting shot. And so those are all questions that I played with. I had the job offer on Saturday, and I thought through it for a little bit and just kind of trusted my instinct and my gut of turning down the work and going in and putting the work in one of my projects, not getting distracted for a little bit. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to go after those jobs and feed your family and things. And I have to do that too. And I may have to be doing that very soon. But I chose today that I would battle towards the dreams that I controlled versus somebody else coming in and offering me and keeping me another day back from my goal of accomplishing this film. Those are decisions you have to be careful with, and I know a lot of times I haven't done this. I've taken the paid work, which has kept my family fed and survived, but Saturday and such, I felt like, no, I need to stay focused. I need to stay on track with chasing this dream. And so, is it a scary thing? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I look back what I did. So I read 2 hours of writing. Remember last week I didn't write anything, and so this week I'm like, I have to get back in the script and get that second draft, the second pass of the second draft done. I wrote for 2 hours, started that, putting in a few new scenes and some other things of writing, and then I jumped right away over to starting to go after the funding, trying to find those sponsorships more. So I was able to send out 8. I had 8 contacts, 8 people, whether they're individuals or tied with a native community or an institution. I was able to send out 8 sponsorship packages to those, and then I have another 5 that I haven't yet heard back from to today. And so that brings me up to my running total of 17 I've sent sponsorship packages for. And that literally means that I've contacted them, whether it's on the phone, in person, email, text, Facebook messaging, because I have those relationships already established with them, or I'm starting those relationships. And I've asked them, if this is what I want to send you this package, to see if we can create a win-win situation, and then send it off to them. Send me the information, I'll review it, I'll give you some feedback on it, and then I will either put you in touch and introduce you to those other decision makers that are behind those closed doors, or people that I've sent them to are the decision makers, and then they're going to meet with their counsel or other steps that we have to take. And so, yeah, so 17 of those are in the playing field. 1 or 2 or 3 of those could make the film happen like that. I could get 17 rejections. I could get 16 rejections, and it's that one that's going to be, this is the one that happened. So maybe today I will. I'll make a special note on a Google Doc sheet that I have, the 27th of January. These are the contacts that I made. These are the sponsorship packets that I sent out on the day that I invested not only my own time and energy and focus and prayer and such into today's work, but also the $500 that I turned down from that corporate job that could have been cash in the bank, could have provided food for another week and a half or so, and survival money for my family, that I vested all of that into this. And so we'll see what happens on these, what I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on these 8 that I was able to get those packets to today. Plus the other 5 that still haven't responded that could here in a little bit, and some of them may have already done that email or text. You have to sometimes be willing to take that risk. Maybe today was really stupid of me of doing that. I don't think it was. I don't feel it was. But maybe others would. Maybe others, it wouldn't be the right decision to do this. And there's other times where I couldn't have done this. I needed to, because maybe we were a week or 2 out from not being able to pay our bills, and so I had to. So just one of those things to, what are you going to go after with to make your dreams happen? I thought of the movie Moneyball, one of my favorite movies. Moneyball, Cinderella Man, a couple of my favorite films. Iron Will, another one. But in Moneyball, there's the scene where Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill are talking. They're ready to go in and basically tell all the scouts that have been working for weeks and weeks about getting the players, and basically tell them, these aren't the players we want, this is what we need. And just all the rejection and all the kind of anger and stuff that they were causing in that. And those two, I remember having a conversation, that them talking about, well, do we really believe this? Is this really what we believe? And both of them saying, yeah. Then they're like, well, it doesn't matter then, right? Everything else doesn't matter. If this is where we're feeling guided and feeling that we need to go, if this is where I'm feeling guided and need to go, then all that other stuff doesn't matter, because things are going to work out. And so that's where I think that power, that determination comes through. And I was able to dig today to keep going, because I knew I had turned down those funds that my family needs. I knew there's that little 9-month-old crawling in the kitchen that is relying on me to provide food for her and her other 4 siblings and my wife and I. And so all of that was that fuel. So it was easy for me to go today and work and call and send out another email, another text, to just stay constantly in the game. Even now, it's just thinking of that. It's like there's that drive that I needed today. Tomorrow, it's maybe the same thing, or maybe what's going to drive me and move me tomorrow, to find that drive and to let that drive fuel you forward. I created a Google spreadsheet, and I have a timeline that I'm starting to keep of every day. This is the work that I'm doing, and I can have a various department. This is marketing work, this is writing work, this is producing work. I'm kind of tracking that, so I kind of have a log. It's basically a log of overall work that I'm doing in this project. Another one is I have for sponsorship opportunities. I'm keeping track. I have a few columns. One of them's, who my contact is, what is the institution or the community, how did I speak with them? Was it phone, text, email? Did I send them? I'm sending them a one page, I call it a one pager. It's my sponsorship packet that has the different options on there, whether they want a logo on the front of the poster, or end credits, or have a private screening in their home or their community. And then I have of course, the poster, and then I have the date that those materials were delivered, and then I have the order that they were contacted, that I spoke with them or communicated them, or the time that they said yes. And then I have a column that says yes or no. That's blank, because I still have all those 17 that have the packet in hand that I'm still waiting for feedback from them and to see if it's a yay or nay. And then I have a section for notes, and a section after that is the specific need to do, some ideas, things that I need to do. And so that's the second one. Third tab is I have marketing notes. So today I talked with a good friend out of Minnesota. He works in radio, and so he's going to help me get in touch with some of the other radio people. He gave me some other ideas of things to do for marketing, because next week I have all the casting stuff to start on next Monday. And he corrected me. I was thinking there's 300 native radio stations, and he kind of laughed. He said there's 75. Of course, writing hours, and then I have a to-do list. And on my to-do list so far is just I need to read the SAG ultra low budget. I still need to go and figure that out, because I'm seriously considering signing on with SAG for this project. And I believe when you sign on with SAG, it's for like a year or two. I don't think it's just one project. I could be wrong, and that's why it's on my to-do list to read. Then I have expenses. And this is actual cash that I've spent on this project. And in a way, I could put a $500 that I missed today of gaining into my pocket because I didn't go and I turned it down to work on my own project. So that could be another $500. But this expense is actual cash that I spent, fees for getting the script registered at the WGA offices, the copyright office, some other things I've had printed. Then I have a budget, kind of not a real fine comb budget, but just some that I'm kind of like getting numbers and putting numbers together in the back of my head, because I still haven't broke down the script. I still haven't done any of that because I'm trying to lock that in. And I have a Google sheet for cast. Have a couple of cast ideas that are on there, but that cast will turn into extras and featured players, and that'll get really populated with contact information, and if what the different agreements are, all of that stuff will be on this page. And then I have next to that I have a release strategy, and this is for specifically traditional theaters where I'm opening on one screen, and then the second, then a month later I open on 6 screens, and so kind of starting to lay out my thoughts there. Last Google spreadsheet that I have is end credits. This is a page that I found so valuable because there's so many people that have in the past have helped me with stuff, and so they're not the ones that are on the crew, and they're not people I've filled out and paid with, through our crew or cast and some of the renting locations or all that. These are people that have helped connect me with the right person to speak with or whatever. And so I've tried to do a really good job of keeping track of the end credits, because somebody does that and they're not expecting it in credits. So when they watch the film and they see their name come across and they have end credits there, it's a good win-win. That's something that I feel that I can offer people, even though there's not always the funds or whatever. It's creating that win-win, what's good for somebody else. And to it builds relationships. So if I have another favor to ask, or, I can keep track, I forgot all about this person that helped me know what kind of where to get this fancy shoe polish that you can use that's just for filming or whatever, and they helped me do that. And so it's just a good way that I found that's easy, that takes a little bit of effort but not a lot, and the payoff is really big, because people see that you appreciate them, and you appreciate what they're doing, and you've made note of and you've put in the extra effort to make that happen. So that's kind of the those 10 or so tabs that I have. It's all wrapped up in one film. I have things similar to this on all my other movies, and of course it's developed as technology's developed, but it's kind of gotten really big, and then Legends from the Sky is really big, and now it's kind of gotten smaller into one Google sheet. Hey. So sometimes you get a little fun visitor that comes and stops by to say hi and see how things are going. This is Michaela. Woo-hoo. So if I'd wrap up any wisdom for you today from my own experiences, is don't be afraid to take risk, but know your choices have outcomes, and so really weigh out your risk and think through them. Don't do things that are stupid or crazy or illegal or things like that. Taking risks, take smart risks. I just think back to sitting there at that PGA nominee breakfast and listening to those 10 producers with those 10 top movies from the year, and almost all of them talking about championing those films for years and years, and taking the risk, and putting their own time and investing their own resources into making those projects happen, and how eventually after all of that happened that those films became movies and people have seen them and now they're winning awards. So be smart when you're taking risks and really think them through, that it's not just about you. It's not everything on the line for that dream, but it's, what can I do today that's ethically, morally, legal to help move my dream forward. And also the responsibilities I have as a father with children, with a family, to take risk, but to be responsible in how you take those risks too. But at times you have to just jump off the top of that waterfall and hope that water's deep enough that you're landing into, and ideally you've maybe not the first one jumping off, but you've seen through experience of others that, if I jump right here, then I'll make it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna track those eight people that we reached out with today and see what happens with those, to see if my additional $500 not taking that job investment was worth it in the long run. You win some, you lose some.